103,000 people, surrounded by rolling hills, not far from the famous wine valleys of Northern California. Indeed, a beautiful setting for today's competition at the Concord Pavilion, with a large crowd eagerly awaiting the action between the U.S. and Ireland. Hello again, everybody. I'm Don Chevrier. Today's card marks the return of Mark Breland from Brooklyn, the 20-year-old who was the outstanding boxer of '82 when he won the World Amateur Championship and defended that title in the welterweight division last May in Tokyo. But right after that bout, Mark had to undergo surgery for torn tendons in his right hand. Had a bit of problem the last couple of years. It was getting worse, and he wanted it taken care of. So today, he's back in the ring for the first time in 4.5 months, along with other fine U.S. prospects against what amounts to Ireland's national amateur boxing team. The Irish, very exciting fighters. It should be a good matchup this afternoon. Something lead of the dual match, Paul Gonzalez of the United States beating Gerry Hawkins of Ireland. Hawkins had to retire in the second round at 128. We're awaiting round two of the 112-pound bout now. This is Paul Banke. He's from Azusa, California, and he's in the ring against the Irish boxer Gerry Duddy.
Both are going back into trouble. Chin down, hands up.
Second round underway. Referee is from Ireland. In the first round, they were pretty even for the first half of it, and then Banke stung Duddy late in round one for a standing 8 count and takes the action to him right here early in the second round. You can always look for brisk action when Ireland meets the United States, and here's an early example today in Concord, California. Three-minute rounds in effect in amateur boxing, and the standing 8 count I referred to, in case you're not familiar with it, is a standard part of the amateur game. Referee, if in his view finds a blow is severe enough, can stop the bout and administer an 8 count to the boxer who is struck. 3 of them in 1 round means you're out of the bout. Paul Banke's been boxing 6 years. We've seen him before. He's very impressive. There is Duddy slipping down to the canvas, not a knockdown. But Banke seems to be motivated by the fact that he did sting Duddy late in the first round and is punishing him here in round 2. Gerry Duddy is the runner-up of the Irish Championships. He has already beaten the United States in 2 of 5 previous bouts against them, but he's got his hands full with Banke here. There are 3 judges, 2 Americans, 1 Irish in this bout, because the man in the middle who does not have a vote is also from Ireland. Gerry Duddy, the southpaw, and Paul Banke has solved his style midway in the fight and midway in round 2. Duddy, a 21-year-old from Derry. Interesting comparison as Duddy lost his balance on that combination from Banke. The comparison being the United States wants their team to wear headgear. The Irish do not feel it is that important, but the United States pressing for the use of headgear in worldwide competition. No question that Duddy is game. But he has been outpointed in our view here in the second round as he was late in the first. A good right coming through from Paul Banke. Now Duddy with a combination. The following right, the most telling of the 2 blows. Less than 30 seconds to go in the round as Gerry Duddy comes on again. The crowd loving the slugfest in Concord, California. Banke with a looping right hook. Then the left coming through. Fires away to the body of Gerry Duddy. It's been a good second round here, scheduled for 3 at the Concord Pavilion. For round 3, Paul Banke and Gerry Duddy. Banke with an edge in the first half of round 2. Duddy put on a furious rally in the latter stages of that second round. Banke would appear to have a slight edge right now, the way we see it, in round 3. It is scheduled for 3 in Concord, California. Paul Banke's only previous international victory came at the expense of Great Britain. He has lost 2 bouts against Yugoslavia. We said Gerry Duddy has had 5 bouts against U.S. boxers previously. He has won 2 of those 5. And he needs a good 3rd round here at the expense of Banke to get the judge's decision, it would appear. But there's no way that This man, Duddy, or really very many of the Irish boxers, will back off. They just keep on coming. They can absorb a tremendous amount of punishment, and they can dish it out as well. The action as intense in the third round as it was in the first two. Duddy was stung for a standing 8 count late in round 1, but neither man has been off his feet as we're here in the third round of the flyweight division. The United States already with a 1-0 lead. There will only actually be 10 bouts because the Irish did not send a boxer in the 132-pound class or the super heavyweight class to this meet. The United States favored to win, but Ireland on a couple of previous occasions has upset the Americans in competition in Dublin midway in the third round. The southpaw, using the right jab effectively, but failing to follow through with his left as he missed again with it there. This amounts to the Olympic trials for many of these Irish amateur boxers. Well established as champions or runners-up in their own country. The United States boxers, though, have a long way to go through the Nationals in Colorado Springs and the box offs to decide the Olympic team of '84. But a lot of points can be garnered right here in the eyes of the coaches by Paul Banke and the others competing for the United States this afternoon. Banke successful now in blocking many of Duddy's blows. Cock one there, a good short right from Gerry Duddy in the final 30 seconds of action. Duddy has been impressive in this round, although perhaps not enough to sway the judges because Banke did pile up a good lead in rounds 1 and 2, it appeared, but Duddy is giving him all he can handle here in the closing seconds. Paul Banke may be getting a little tired after all this furious action. Takes the left from Duddy again. Another right hand from Gerry Duddy. Just seconds to go in the third and final round. It's been a good one. Has loved this early taste of action between the United States and Ireland here today. Third round action now. Gerry Duddy trying to come on, missing wildly with the left hand. Banke did block several shots, then Banke with a soft left coming through. Duddy to the body and fires the right up to the jaw of Paul Banke. Now the decision. Paul Banke gets the decision over Gerry Duddy of Derry, Ireland. A split decision, 2-1 in favor of Banke. So the United States with winners in both the 106 light flyweight and the 112-pound flyweight class. The Americans leading Ireland 2-0. Just turned 17 from Akron, Ohio, the youngest member of the United States team. He won the National Sports Festival Championship at 112 pounds, but he'll be fighting here at 119. In the Sports Festival, he took on a good one, the reigning World Amateur Champion Steve McCrory. And the quickness of young Hickman paid off. It was a battle in Colorado Springs, but Todd Hickman won a decision over Steve McCrory, the most important bout of his life. But he couldn't keep the weight down to 112. He's had to go to 119 to the bantamweight ranks now. Will the move to 119 affect your style at all?
No, it won't affect my style that much. I'm a lot stronger at 119 because I'm not losing the weight to go down to 112. The only thing you see different is that I'm punching harder.
You still move the same as you always did?
Still move the same, just as fast.
His opponent is Paul Fitzgerald from Wicklow, Ireland. He is a southpaw, the reigning Irish champion, a 21-year-old who has won 1 and lost 2 against United States boxers previously. Round 1, this will be an interesting international test for Todd Hickman. He has not had that many international bouts. The fact that the Irishman is a southpaw may tend to confuse him in the early going here. When Fitzgerald's not boxing, he is the manager of the Yankee Doodle restaurant in Wicklow, Ireland. And he's got a tough Yankee on his hands here in young Todd Hickman. Hickman, down he goes as he threw the right. He was caught by Fitzgerald. And he will take the count sitting on the canvas. Says he's all right, looking up to the referee now, Safaraz of Los Angeles. And And he will continue, but Todd Hickman, unprepared for the southpaw style, perhaps, of Paul Fitzgerald, got stung early. What a surprise this is, as Hickman was certainly favored against the Irish boxer coming in with his quickness. But it was the quickness of Paul Fitzgerald that caught Hickman. Fitzgerald looked to be a little wary of him, backing away until he unloaded that blow that dropped Hickman so suddenly. But Todd looks all right now, coming after his Irish opponent, trying to pin him in that corner, but Fitzgerald back to the center of the ring. No question, Hickman is one of the shining young prospects for the '84 Olympic team. And he stung Fitzgerald with the left, followed by the right. Fitzgerald is now sitting down on the canvas. They've each been down once. Fitzgerald trying to shake it off, getting to his feet, so it's 1-1 in knockdowns in this bantamweight bout. On stiff right off the bat, sends him down again. The second count. Safaraz looking very carefully now at the Irish boxer, letting him get up. Will he let him continue? Yes, he will. Todd Hickman has taken him down twice. One more, of course, means the stoppage of the bout if Hickman can nail him again. But Fitzgerald has hardly had time to clear his head and catch his breath. Hickman on the attack again. Fitzgerald retreating, swinging wildly. Hickman following through with the right hand. Measuring him now. He knows he's got him in trouble. Halfway into the first round, and Todd Hickman is all over Paul Fitzgerald. It's a caution from the referee. Fitzgerald trying to weather this storm from Hickman and get out of round one. He's got well over a minute left, however. Blood now coming from the mouth of the Irish boxer. Referee encouraging Fitzgerald to fight. He was covering up in the corner in a passive position, and he's been retreating and covering up ever since the second quick knockdown from Todd Hickman. So Hickman, stunned by the early knockdown he sustained, has bounced up to take the action to Paul Fitzgerald and maul him here in this first round. Safaraz, the referee, has seen enough, and rightly so, because Fitzgerald was strictly limited to a defensive position as Todd Hickman took it to him. Referee stops the contest here in round one, the third win for the United States. Hickman over Fitzgerald. But it wasn't all that easy in the early seconds for Todd Hickman. He was the aggressor, but as he threw his right, he got caught by the right hand of Fitzgerald, and Todd Hickman went spinning down to the canvas. An early shocker. He was down for the full count of 8. Referee Safaraz coming in to make sure that Todd Hickman was all right from that blow thrown by Paul Fitzgerald from Wicklow. But off the canvas he came. And he made Fitzgerald pay with a stinging left hand. Delayed reaction, but down went the Irish boxer for the first knockdown he sustained. Then, with Fitzgerald unable to clear his head, the referee allowing the action to continue, Hickman came lunging out and met him with a first right-hand blow that sent him down the second time. Safaraz finally stopped the contest. Hickman wins it in round one. I guess he got your attention when he stung you over in the corner there. What happened?
Oh, yeah, I was going after him, and then I hadn't realized he was southpaw. Then he threw a wild left hand, caught me. I went down.
You weren't looking for that?
Oh, no.
So then you got on your racehorse and chased him around the ring the rest of the way.
Yeah, I got up. I was all right. I was shaky for like 3 seconds after I got up. And I went out there, and he hit me again, and it woke me up. And then I went after him, and I caught him, knocked him down, and got him again. And I was figured that the time was running out, and he was hitting hard, so I didn't want to go in the second round. So I went after him. That's why I was chasing. I got him.
Well, you were running well enough and moving well enough. I mean, 119 looked to be okay for you.
Oh, yeah, I feel real good and strong at 119.
All right, Todd. Well, congratulations, and keep it going.
All right, thank you.
So the United States jumps into a 3-0 lead in this dual meet against Ireland. Between Robert Franco of Corpus Christi, Texas, and Roy Webb of Ireland was extremely close for 2 rounds. But in round 3, Webb caught the American boxer and provided the only knockdown of that bout with a solid right hand. That was the decisive blow as Roy Webb pulled off a close decision, a victory over Robert Franco of the United States, Ireland's first win today. This is Billy Walsh of Wexford. He is the reigning welterweight champion at 147 pounds of Ireland, but fighting here at 139 against Henry Hughes, a 20-year-old from Bedford Heights, Ohio. Henry Hughes has never won an international bout. They're getting ready for round 3. This one, too, a closely contested match so far. Up for grabs in the 3rd and final round. The United States leading 3 bouts to 1. Henry Hughes is a 17-year-old, lost in the quarterfinals of the Olympic trials. Of course, the United States did not compete in the 80 Olympics in Moscow, but now as a 20-year-old, he's got his sights set on the 84 team for Los Angeles. Billy Walsh has won one of his 3 bouts previously against American boxers. He is from Wexford, Ireland, one of the most respected members of this Irish national team. Walsh taking the action to Henry Hughes, forcing Henry to fight as a counterpuncher early in this 3rd round. Hughes, like the other American boxers, know one thing, and that is that the Irish can hit and they can withstand blows. Very, very durable and exciting boxers, as we've seen so far. Henry keeping his distance, trying to use the jab, coming up short with it. As we say, the 3rd round should tell the tale between these two. The United States looking to open a 4-1 lead. The Irish hoping to narrow the gap. They trail by 2 bouts at this stage. Down goes Henry Hughes midway in the 3rd round. A solid shot from Billy Walsh. Sends into the canvas. Moves in for a 2nd knockdown. Now Hughes definitely backing up around this ring, trying to recover from the 1st knockdown of this bout. Using the jab to ward off the oncoming Walsh. Walsh, a long looping right hand. The 2nd one caught Hughes against the ropes. The force of a blow is not supposed to matter in the judging, but it's bound to influence, I think, many ringside judges in a fight as close as this one has been until this point. Two Irish judges, one American judge at ringside for this, the 139-pound light welterweight bout. Less than 30 seconds to go in the 3rd round. And a holding caution has gone out to Henry Hughes. Now, the ringside judges can accept that in a deductive point, or if they choose to disregard it, as the case may be. But the knockdown and that point could be very, very serious for Hughes in this 3rd round. He's still trying to cover up. Walsh all over him now in the final 10 seconds. Billy Walsh, it would appear, has certainly won this 3rd round, and that may be the difference in what had been an extremely close bout. His own for a couple of rounds against the reigning welterweight champion, fighting at 139 pounds here, Billy Walsh, until the right hand caught him in the 3rd round and sent Henry Hughes spinning down to the canvas. That plus the point taken away might make the difference. Here's the decision. Yes, the big 3rd round for Walsh pulled him through. So the Irish, a split decision victory by Billy Walsh over Henry Hughes of Bedford Heights, Ohio, have now pulled to within 1 bout of the United States in this dual boxing meet in Concord, California. It is now the United States 3, Ireland 2. The world amateur welterweight champion, his first ring appearance in 4.5 months. The world amateur champion, his first appearance in 4.5 months after surgery on his right hand. He'll be up against David Irving, who has never met an American boxer. Mark made a big name for himself in the World Championships last year in Munich when he knocked down the Soviets, Derek Konikbayev, with a couple of powerful right hands. On his way to a unanimous decision. Mark was so impressive that he was named the outstanding boxer at that tournament. Breland successfully defended his world title last May against Chung of Seoul, South Korea. But in the closing seconds of the fight, he threw one last punch that aggravated his chronically sore right hand. When the bell sounded, he was grimacing in pain. A month later, he entered Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City for an operation on the tendons in his damaged hand. And suddenly his boxing career, his dreams of an Olympic gold medal and a professional world championship were all in jeopardy. His doctor told him there was a possibility the operation would not prepare the hand enough to allow him to continue boxing, and that possibility was constantly on Mark's mind as he lay in his hospital bed. It still haunts him.
Yeah, it does. I think, back and forth sometimes, would it heal right, or would I be able to fight again afterwards, or how long would it stay, together?
To answer some of those questions, Mark trained for his comeback bout at the famous Kronk Center in Detroit. Perhaps the ideal place to find out in a hurry if the scarred right hand would stand up, because trainer Emmanuel Stewart has a gym full of outstanding fighters, both amateur and pro, and a sparring session with a boxer like Mike McCallum, ranked the #1 junior middleweight contender by both the WBA and WBC, provided a strenuous test. Mark is obviously eager to return to action.
Once you stop traveling and you're not fighting again, you feel left out a little bit. And it seems like after I didn't fight in the Pan Am Games and the North American Championships, they don't really, seem like I was counted out a little bit. So I just want to put my mark back in there again.
The young man that Breland will test his ring rustiness against is David Irving, a 21-year-old salesman from Belfast. As we told you before, his first fight against a U.S. boxer, and what a challenge he'll face here from Mark Breland. But the questions about Mark are about to be answered after 4.5 long months of wondering if his career could continue. The welterweight on the line here in the U.S.-Ireland dual boxing meet. Round 1 is underway. There is always a tendency psychologically, no matter how healthy the doctor tells you the hand is, to maybe be a little reluctant to use it. We'll watch for that in Mark Breland now as he fires the left jab out to David Irving. There was the right, not connecting. His hand had bothered him for 2 years, progressively getting worse until the operation was absolutely necessary. This young man, with hopes so high, still pointing toward an Olympic gold medal for the United States, considered by many as our best bet at the LA Olympics in boxing. Good right thrown there by Mark Breland. Backs him away as Safaraz, the referee from Los Angeles, cautions Breland. There's the right thrown again by Mark. Not reluctant at all to throw it against David Irving in this first round, scheduled for 3. Irving in a defensive stance, almost in awe of Mark Breland here. The long arms of Breland in contrast to the body of David Irving. As though Breland can strike you from halfway across the ring. Timing a little off, but that combination came through. Cuffing him around with the left hand now as Breland more and more takes charge of this bout. Down goes Irving. He slipped down right there. It is ruled a knockdown, however, by the referee Safaraz. He might have grazed him on the way down, but Irving looked like he slipped to the canvas and was eager to stay there. The bout will continue. Irving in definite trouble. He wants no more, and the referee agrees. He ducked into his corner when Mark hit him with that right hand, so it is not a very good test for Mark Breland, but at least he has the feel of the ring once again, ever so briefly in the first round. Irving realized quite early he was no match for Mark Breland. The first time he went down to the canvas, it was hardly a devastating blow. Mark caught him with the left there and really didn't hit him with much to send him down. The second time that Irving hit the canvas, Mark did get the right hand off. And that's the important thing for Mark in this bout, the fact that he was not afraid to throw the right hand, building confidence while he used it. Well, Mark, that was a start, but not the start you wanted, I'm sure. I would suspect you would like a little more work than you got.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I I knew I would have a little ring rust, but he wasn't the type of opponent that would, you know, pressure me a lot. I was looking for a lot of pressure tonight, and he just, you know, it seemed like he was a little afraid after I hit him with the body shot. And then after I would jab him, and he would do a little funny move. But all in all, it still worked out in my favor.
You weren't tested, but you looked like you had a lot of flow, a lot of rhythm. You didn't look that rusty, although I guess you'll have to wait till the test for that.
Well, now it's over with now. The rust is over with. All I needed was really one fight, and to see, you know, where my mistakes and what I have to, you know, work on. And I found it out tonight, you know, so I'll be ready for the next couple of bouts.
Mark's win gives the United States a 4-2 lead. Coming up next, the light middleweights. 4 bronze medalists from the '82 World Championships in Munich. He'll be in the ring against young Danny Trujillo, an up-and-coming young boxer on the American team. I talked to Danny, asked him if perhaps he was in awe of Carr in any way.
I'm ready for this fight. I've been training hard. He's the star of their team. I think I can handle him. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for me, I don't think.
Tell me how you'll approach it when the bell sounds to start the fight.
Well, I'll feel him out. You know, you can't run out and start beating on a guy or start running and be afraid of him. I'll come out and feel the guy out, and I'll take it from there. We'll see what happens. He won't have to look for me.
A world of confidence displayed by young Trujillo, just 21 years old, from Rock Springs, Wyoming. Here's the bell to start the first round. Carr has never lost to an American boxer. In fact, he's beaten the very impressive U.S. fighter, 2-time national champion Dennis Milton, not once, but twice, including a decision over Dennis at the World Championships in Munich last year. So Tommy Carr is tough, he is ring-wise, and he is experienced. He knows what to expect from the Americans, but as you heard Trujillo talk, he doesn't seem to be impressed by Carr, and certainly doesn't appear to be afraid of anybody. Referee is from Ireland. There will be 2 American judges, 1 Irish judge at ringside if it goes the 3-round limit to a decision. Tommy Carr is a southpaw, and perhaps now in the early seconds, Trujillo is measuring that style to see how to adapt to it. By Danny Trujillo. Stunned Carr twice, right on the button. Got him again with the right hand. If there's an early indication, it would appear that Trujillo is a little quicker in getting his punches off than Carr midway in the first round. But Carr, the Irish national champion, he's a tough-wood, 21 years old. He is a welder. Lost to a good one in the World Championships, Alexander Koshkin of the Soviet Union. And had to settle for the bronze medal there. A pretty even match in the first round, it would appear. Both fighters showing plenty of respect for each other. Pounding away to the body is Trujillo. With the right, then the left, goes to the head, is cautioned by the referee for holding. Or just wades in, jams those punches to the body, then to the head. Less than 30 seconds to go in the round as he spun Trujillo around there. Danny keeps on coming, driving Carr across the ring. And Danny was good to his word. He is not the least bit intimidated now by this bronze medalist from the World Championships. Tommy Carr smacks him with the left hand. Less than 10 seconds to go in the round. These two appear to be well matched. They're going to take the action right down to the bell to end round 1. Round 2 is underway. The light middleweight bout. And right away, Trujillo with a snapping combination comes flying out of Tommy Carr. Sends the right hand through again, then the left. Trujillo a little cautious in the first half of round 1. Now more than eager to mix it up with Tommy Carr, bronze medalist from the World Championships. Most highly respected boxer on the Irish team. But he's being shown very little respect by Danny Trujillo from Rock Springs, Wyoming. the same time, the caution by the Irish referee to Trujillo, who's been boxing 5 years now, was coached by his father, the National Golden Gloves runner-up, and a third-place finisher in the Pan Am Trials at the National Sports Festival. Many on the U.S. team regard Danny Trujillo as a promising fighter definitely on his way up. He may be coming into shape in time for the '84 Olympic Games. Tommy Carr, the Irish, fully expect to be in Los Angeles. So Danny is getting a taste of the kind of competition he would face if he did make the American Olympic team. Cuffs him with a snapping right hand. The United States, if Trujillo wins this bout, would be assured of at least a tie against the Irish, leading 4 bouts to 2 following Mark Breland's easy first-round victory over David Irving. The crowd really getting into the action here in Concord, California, and the Americans and the Irish have put on a great card for them. In fact, it always happens when these two countries meet in amateur boxing. Some of the most exciting boxing you'll see. They're midway in the second round, midway in the bout, scheduled for 3 rounds. 2 quick right hands coming up from Danny Trujillo. Then lunging with the right, partially blocked by Tommy Carr, who tries to wrestle him back onto the ropes unsuccessfully. Trujillo hitting him with the left after the break angered the Irish referee, who now orders them back into action. Couple of good rights by the southpaw from Ireland, Tommy Carr. His style appears to have been solved successfully by Danny Trujillo at this stage into round number 2. Good right coming through. That rocked Tommy Carr. But Carr, as we've seen in the past, can certainly take the best punch he can offer. And he's taken an abundance here in the second round from Danny Trujillo, who's coming on. The first round appeared to be very close. Now Danny is the aggressor certainly in round 2, and in many cases beating Carr to the punch. Less than 30 seconds to go in the second round. Carr with the left following the right that he missed. Carr throwing forceful blows, but now Trujillo successful in blocking many more than he did earlier. Just seconds remaining in the second round, scheduled for 3. It's a good one in Concord, California. Concord, California, back with you for round 3 of an exciting light middleweight bout between Tommy Carr, the bronze medalist from the World Championships last year representing Ireland, and young Danny Trujillo of the American team from Rock Springs, Wyoming. Danny had a good second round, but the history of Carr indicates he gets tougher as the bout progresses. With a good right. And an uppercut thrown by Tommy Carr as Trujillo digs away to the body and tries to tie him up. Trujillo bangs away with both hands to Carr. Good, quick snapping right thrown by Tommy Carr of Ireland. The action intensifying into 3 rounds. These two don't look the least bit tired, and they've been throwing leather ever since the midway point of round number 1, relentlessly. Danny again, getting a punch off at the end of a break. Carr with the right hand. He's a southpaw, remember, has had more and more difficulty in getting his good left hand off. The right's coming through, but he seems unable to follow successfully with the left. And he's blocking many of those shots. He's sent spinning across the ring as the left jab comes through again. Midway now in the 3rd and final round. And the judges will have their hands full here. 2 American judges, 1 Irish judge at ringside will determine the outcome if it goes the 3-round distance. Both have taken hard blows, but no standing 8 counts, no knockdown so far. So you are watching an international veteran, Tommy Carr, and a young man who's a rising star on the United States team, Danny Trujillo. 3 chopping right hands he pounds on the head of Tommy Carr. There's the left jab, struck out again by Carr, unable once more to follow with his heavy right. Crowd getting on the referee. They want him to stand back and let these two go at it. Carr and Trujillo put out a good show. Again, a quick snapping shot coming through by Tommy Carr. Missing with a long left. Less than 30 seconds to go. Carr trying to change his leads now on Danny Trujillo, but less and less successful has he been in getting to him. This would be a very difficult bout to judge, I would suspect, because both fighters have certainly had their moments. A close third round, winding down to a close in Concord, California. The action going right to the bell. The crowd loves it. Here's third round action for you now. There was the right hand coming through, then the chopping right by Trujillo. Danny a little quicker off the mark in the latter two rounds against Tommy Carr. An opportunist, able to score time and time again, especially when they were in close. Now the decision. Danny Trujillo has beaten Tommy Carr of Ireland, and it's a unanimous decision, assuring the United States of at least a tie in this dual boxing meet. It was a close bout. The third round made the difference, perhaps, for Danny, and he was an opportunist when he got close in, time and time again, scoring blows coming up to the head of Tommy Carr of Ireland. Danny, you hit him very hard, but you couldn't take him down.
Well, I hit him pretty hard, and he took some really good shots, so I had to beat him on points. He's a real strong fella. Took a good shot.
He really did, and I had a feeling that he struck you a couple of times, too.
Well, he hit me, but he didn't have that snappiness in his punch to sting me. But he did make me feel him. They all hurt in that division.
So the United States, with Danny's win, leads Ireland 5-2. In the middleweight bout, Michael Nunn made a good debut for the U.S. internationally against Brian Byrne, a tough Dublin policeman. Nunn wore him down, got to him in the third round. The referee stopped the contest 140 into round 3. The win by Nunn gave the U.S. a 6-2 lead and assured them a victory. Carl Wright in the light heavyweight bout against Jimmy Shortle of Ireland had to battle hard for 3-4 rounds. A good match between the two, but Wright from Lisle, Washington won the decision over Shortle from Dublin. A unanimous 3-0 decision for Carl Wright. So the United States holds a 7-2 lead now coming to the heavyweight bout. Al Evans, a 28-year-old veteran from Chicago. Round 1 is underway. He's in against Tony Hallett from Newcastle, Ireland. Evans has had an up-and-down career. For him, his last opportunity, surely, to make the Olympic team at 28. He's been training hard and working very hard in that direction. One of the ups recently for Al Evans, his performance at the National Sports Festival. He defeated Craig Payne, knocked him out of the semifinals, then lost to Tyrell Biggs in the finals there. He's in against a young man from Ireland, Tony Hallett, who's making his international debut here in Concord. There is no super heavyweight bout scheduled. The Irish did not send a fighter in that weight class, so this is the final bout of the day, the heavyweights, Hallett and Evans. Hallett, a little older as amateur boxers go as well. He's 25. Al Evans taking early command in here, backing the Irish fighter away. Referee is Marco Safaraz of Los Angeles. Scheduled for 3 rounds, the final bout. The United States has the dual meet victory wrapped up. Al Evans looking to put some icing on that cake here in Concord. Hallett trying to get one more victory for the Irish. Hallett, one of the few Irish boxers who was chosen to wear headgear. All the Americans have today. We're midway in the first round. Al Evans backing him up, hits him with a good solid right, follows with a second right. There'll be a standing 8 count. Ordered by Safaraz, the referee. The first 2 punishing blows in this bout. And Hallett looks to be a little off balance from it all. Evans Trying to close in on him again. Missed with a right as Hallett tries to hold him against the ropes and buy some time. Evans has got that good right hand, the one he used to knock out Craig Payne in the Sports Festival. And now the left followed by the right. Backing Hallett up into the corner again. Just missing with that right hand. Hallett hanging in there. He's game. But he is in some difficulty since the standing 8 count. Good, solid right. Rocks him against the ropes. A second standing count from the referee. One more will end this bout. Al Evans very much in command. Referee, as Evans waits at his corner, looking the Irish fighter over to make sure he is all right, and he has decided he is not. He's going to send him back to his corner. The Irish handler waved the towel that caught the referee's eye, and Safaraz signaled the end of the bout. So Hallett retires. Al Evans gets another victory for the United States. Their 8th over the Irish in this dual boxing meet. An impressive showing for the Americans as they progress along the road to Los Angeles.